of the drum, leave this world behind. We'll have a drink and toast to ourselves under a violet moon. Toot a rose with her hair in curls will make you turn and stare. Try to steal a kiss at the bridge under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. Cheers to the nights and days of old, the beggars and the thieves, living in an enchanted wood under a violet moon. Fortune teller, what do you see? Future in a car. Share your secrets, tell them to me under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. Now close your eyes and lose yourself in a medieval mood. Taste the treasures and sing the tunes under a violet moon. 'Tis my delight on a shiny night, the season of the year, to keep the lanterns burning bright under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. when darkness falls and shadows crawl beneath this wretched world. I breathe real slow like and dream about a long black curl, 10 leaves long, twirling through the braids of time to the tin they know, and a
Well, good morning. Hope this finds everybody doing well. And yes, it does appear Facebook is a bit laggy this morning. Um, According to what's coming through live feed and what you're probably seeing, there's about a 15-20 second delay. Well, it looks like everybody's been a bit chatty over in the chat room. Looks like Paul is not doing well this morning. I hope you get to feeling better, dude. Get to feeling better quick. Oh, man, let me tell you what. North Texas. Well, allergies in North Texas are where they always are, blowing your face up. But, man, it is nice and cool outside this morning. See, looking at my phone right now, it says it's 50 degrees. 50 degrees. Perfect temperature. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Now, days like today is when I really miss the Grove. Sit out in the Grove and chill and have coffee. And of course, back in the day, it was coffee, cigarettes, and good conversation. Today, it's coffee, vape, and internet, digital, good conversation. Oh man, let's see. Cindy says 55 in South Central Texas. Kim says she's going to be buffering a lot. Well, Kim, don't buffer so much. Makes you tired doing all that buffering. You're getting old, you know. 57 in Kingwood. Wow. All right. Well, glad everybody can make it on a Sunday morning. Yep. Gonna be a day of blowing my nose. Huh? Mute. Yep. I'm muted. Love the mute button. Right. Well, and a couple of people asked me through Facebook over the last week or two, why don't you ever introduce yourself on Sunday morning church? Didn't realize I had to. Figure everybody knows this old ugly mug, or at least I hope they know what web page they're on. Well, anyway, this is Don, or Pegasus, depending on your mood or what you want to call me. We are Open Pagan Church, simulcast on House of Pagans Facebook group. That's generally where I watch the live feed, is over on the House of Pagans Facebook group, so that I can see if anybody in there has any questions or comments or what have you. Somebody says dirty face kid. Well, wash that face. Shame on you, dirty face kid. Our topic today is paranoia. You know, the only thing worse than paranoia is mob mentality. And mob mentality comes from paranoia. What is paranoia? Well, paranoia is it's a single word that is used in multiple different variables. It's a description word to describe the emotion of someone who is scared to death over something for which they have no reason to be scared to death of. And I want to bring up a couple of scenarios that describes the difference between paranoia and being prepared. or being cautious. Paranoia is nothing to do with preparedness or cautiousness. And a lot of people get these confused. For example, a story I was thinking about last night through meditation. Imagine someone, neither really male nor female, but someone walking down an alley. It's an alley they've never been down before. They don't know anything about it. It's dark, no lights. The only light on the alley is from a full moon, so all you can see is shadows and some shapes. So you can tell a dumpster from a trash can, but that's about it. You have no way to get to your destination rather than to go down this dark alley. So here's a question for you. The individual that's fixing to walk down the dark alley starts walking. They know they really don't have a whole lot of other choice to get to their destination. So as they start walking, they begin to think, well, you know, somebody's probably going to be sleeping down this alley. And they're going to see somebody dressed up, nice, obviously going somewhere. And they're probably going to try to mug me. What is this person already starting to do? They're starting to wind themselves up. Well, they keep walking, and before long the fear builds up, the anxieties build up. They're scared to death of anything that bumps, thumps, or boos in the night. And this individual happens to be licensed to carry, having a pistol on their person as well as pepper spray. So they're walking down the alley. It's a relatively short alley. There's not a whole lot there. And this thump comes from behind them. They have wound themselves up so bad that without thinking, they spin, they draw their weapon, bang. They just shot a cat. They shot a cat that had jumped off of a trash can, making a bit of noise. Were they paranoid? Were they cautious? Or were they prepared? Those actions by that individual was caused by paranoia. A uncontrolled, though not uncontrollable, but an uncontrolled set of actions brought forward by fear. Brought forward because they had already convinced themselves of the worst before they ever entered a situation. Paranoia. Paranoia is very dangerous. It's dangerous to you and it's dangerous to those around you. Next scenario. Preacher pounding the pulpit, preaching about the dangers and the evils of people that are different than those of the congregation of the church. Preaching the dangers and the evils of thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Ding! The members of the congregation go out in society. And they've also preached the evils of homosexuality and going to go to hell. So the congregation leaves the church and they mingle out in society. And they spread the mammal-jammal that the preacher had beat the pulpit talking about. What do you think they're going to do? Hate crimes go up. killings, murder goes up because the good Christians have to save the wretched in spite of themselves. That is social paranoia. It is also mob mentality. It is when someone stirs up the public to enforce their personal way of thinking. Through enforcing mob mentality, through building and working on the fear and the uneducated assumption of the masses of people, that builds paranoia. It happens every day. It's been happening for several thousand years, where mainstream churches have pounded the pulpit talking about the evils of those who are different than themselves. And it has caused for some major, serious, nasty hate crimes all over the world. Not just here in America, but all over the world. So I had a couple of comments. I'm going to have to bugger over to another page and see what I can see. You know, I really do hate the way Facebook has changed their notification system. It just irritates the hell out of me. Alright. Yes, right. And Jennifer says, "Thou shalt not have no God before any God before me," blah, blah, blah. Totally agree with you, Jennifer. Looks like those posts are not coming across, so interesting. Alright. Nope, they're definitely not. Alright, hang tight with me just a second, folks. I'm going to refresh a page here and see. There we go. They're definitely not. With me just a second, folks. I'm going to refresh. Okay, now I think I can see what everybody's posting. Anyway, paranoia. Highly dangerous, very destructive, and extremely self-destructive in just about every imaginable way. Now let me give you another scenario, okay? I don't want to beat that one into the ground because I don't really want people to think I'm anti-Christian, because I'm not. I'm not really anti-anything except anti-stupid. It just happens to be a boatload of stupid people out there. Let's move to the next scenario, shall we? Same person, same alley, same situation. The person now walking down the alley understands the possible dangers of dark alleys in the city. The person understands the possibilities of the things that can happen to a single individual nicely dressed in the city down a dark alley. Same individual, licensed to carry, also carries pepper spray for non-lethal attacks. And they're walking down the alley and the noise comes from behind them. So it kind of spooks them, jumps them a little bit. So they turn and look. Oh, it's a kitty cat. Go on, kitty cat, leave me alone. I kind of spooked them a little bit. They kind of shake it off and they bugger on. So, are those actions paranoia, cautious, or preparedness. I call those actions caution or cautious preparedness. To be prepared, you have to have a little bit of caution. You have to be aware of your surroundings, but not to the point where it makes you paranoid. For many years, some of you know, I've taught self-defense. Taught self-defense and how to be aware, but not paranoid. And I've always taught my students the difference between paranoia and being cautiously prepared. Now, let's use another scenario. This is the one that's always killed me. Everyone is always so quick to talk about Christian paranoia. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are so quick, or just as quick, to talk about pagan paranoia? Yeah. That's not one people like to talk about in the pagan society, because it's like, well, we know better. We're not paranoid. Bullshit. Pagans are one of the most paranoid societies there are. Because, let's see, we believe in magic. We know what energy can do. We know the types of magic that are out there, or at least I hope we do. And we know what people are capable of. Pagans are paranoid. Most of them. And I'm going to use an example and a case in point. Cat in labor. Okay. Well, definitely. Cat in labor. Go take care of the kitty. Jennifer, why aren't your posts coming up in the main? This damn thing has got... Alright. This damn thing has got people's posts coming up everywhere. And it looks like Facebook is trying to lock up again. Go figure. Alright. Copy. I understand. Jennifer, try refreshing your page or going to the Open Pagan Church page and try posting there if you will. Or run over to House of Pagans and see if it'll let you post in there. For some reason, your posts are not coming up on the main page. Let's see. On the main page. All right, those of you that are trying to post and I can't see what you're posting, click on the link. I just copied and pasted in there. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, pagans are paranoid. Oh boy, are all pagan, or well, not all, but boy, are most pagans paranoid. And I'm going to use an example. Circle of people. Open circle. New individual comes in. Okay, welcome. Hugs and handshakes and what have you all around. And the new person is there for a bit. You know. All of a sudden, a couple of people start having allergy attacks. couple of bloody noses maybe, a couple of people not feeling well, and everybody starts trying to figure out where it comes from. Well, it had to come from the new person, didn't it? Had to come from the new person. Got something attached to him. Nasty, black, and ugly. Alright, guys. Grow up. Get a grip. If you suddenly get a bloody nose and you've got allergies to begin with, duh. This poor new person that came in doesn't have a clue. And if they do come in and they've got all kinds of baggage and nasty shit that's attached to them through the years, isn't that what you're there for? Aren't you there to help them understand as a group, not to cast out the individual? Paranoia, people, get over it. By the time it's made its way around the circle, somebody's going to die, somebody's going to bleed to death, and all of a sudden somebody can't sleep because this person's getting into their dreams. Holy shit. Really? Paranoia. Get a grip. Now, you get those first years and those seekers that are just coming in, and they're kind of open and susceptible to all kinds of things, right? They think they feel a pin drop. They think they have the power to move the world. Well, they might. They might. Okay. But through the years of being a pagan minister and working with people in the pagan philosophy, the amount of paranoid rhetoric that I have seen in the mass groups of pagan people that I've been involved in has just fascinated the hell out of me. I don't think I have ever seen any one particular group of people as paranoid as a bunch of pagans. And that's crazy. We know better. You know better. I hope. Ask yourself this one question. Just one. When a new person comes in, and they're coming in, they're chatting, everything seems to be going good, and all of a sudden somebody or one or two people sitting way off out in the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden those one or two people start tripping. Ask yourself why. Why are these people reaching out and not even really understanding what the hell's going on? All of a sudden you've got these people that are scared for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Or they're afraid of something, and they have no idea what the hell they're afraid of. Kind of weird. And I'm kind of moving around right now, trying to understand what the hell Facebook is doing. But anyway, whatever. If your questions are not getting through, I do apologize. Facebook is smoking crack this morning. But anyway, paranoia. It's very dangerous. I have seen it destroy entire pagan organizations because people convince themselves that someone, some faction, or some group within a number of groups, if you will, are casting on them, lighting candles, doing this or doing that. That's just always fascinated the hell out of me. But it goes to prove the point. It goes to prove the point. For thousands of years, governments, religious leaders, and big business has used human paranoia to control the factions, to control the masses, to keep control over people, like a sheepdog keeps control over the sheep. The way this is done is through fear, using people's lack of understanding of the situation, also known as ignorance. Ignorance is not a bad thing. There's a number of crap in this world I am extremely ignorant to, and I'll own it. I'm the first one to say I may not know something about something. But I'm also the first one to raise my hand and ask questions and go, can you explain, please, what it is you're talking? Where are you getting your information from? And this is one of the things that back when we had the actual physical circle of the HOP going, you're talking 20, sometimes upwards of 30 people in circle for church in the morning, and that's not even talking about a Sabbath. That's not even talking about Beltane or Samhain or Yule or one of our big feasts we had. And so paranoia was very easy to stir up. And it would never fail. We'd be having a conversation about something, and I'd look up and there'd be a couple of people sitting over here jibby about something about someone they have absolutely no clue about. And before you know it, the rumor mill has started, and by the time it's gotten all the way back to me, who the hell knows what you're liable to hear. Some of the stuff I heard was so ridiculous, I could do nothing but laugh. Well, I agree. Kim says, I think it's a bunch of crap myself. Just because stuff is happening doesn't mean someone is lighting a black candle. Absolutely. Thank you, Kim. How many times did you and I have a lot of that same conversation back in the day of HOP? There were a number of times that me and individuals would have conversations about paranoia, about drama, and people that love to stir crap. And anytime you've got a group of people in a setting of any kind, you're going to have drama. You're going to have somebody dabby stirring crap. So here we are, folks. We are dead up on the hour, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time here. And our topic today is paranoia. We're on Open Pagan Church, and we're simulcast on House of Pagans, which is a group on Facebook. Think about your questions. We're going to take a bit of a break, enjoy some more music over here, and the link to the music is in the chat area. I always like to make sure I share those links because these artists need our support. So let's take a few minutes, let my voice rest a minute. Let you guys kind of gather up your questions, because paranoia is a very important topic. Think of your questions, think of your comments. Maybe a scenario that you had to battle because people were paranoid against you, or perhaps you or your circle was paranoid against someone else because of something someone else told you. And I know a couple of you out there are guilty of that as well. Think about that. We'll be right back.
Diese Nacht ist kalt und der Wind, der bläst durch unser Land. Und wer jetzt noch geht, ist ein Amateur oder auf dem Weg zu der Liebsten, die jede Reise lohnt. Oh, öffne mir das Licht hinein, mein Liebster steht im Mondenschein. Diese Nacht ist so kalt, so öffne mir, denn morgen wird es zu spät sein. Mein Vater wacht über Haus und Hof, meine Tür versperrt ein Eisenschloss und ich habe keinen Schlüssel dafür. Es führt heute Nacht kein Weg zu mir. Oh, öffne mir das Licht hinein, mein Liebster steht im Mondenschein. Diese Nacht ist so kalt, so öffne mir, denn morgen wird es zu spät sein. Doch die Nacht ist so kalt, endlich öffnet sie ihm und sie küsst ihres Liebsten kalte Stirn. Diese Nacht ist so kalt, doch sie öffnet die Tür und er küsst sie 7-mal dafür. Oh, öffne mir das Licht hinein, mein Liebster steht im Mondenschein. Diese Nacht ist so kalt, so öffne mir, denn morgen wird es zu spät sein. Der Morgen graut und der Wind, der geht durch unser Land. Doch das Mädchen liegt in ihres Liebsten Arm und danket sehr der kalten Nacht und dem Wind dafür.
I'ma keep on running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
All right. Welcome back. Hey, if everybody's still away from your keyboard, go ahead and finish up, get your coffee, do whatever you need to do. I wanted to voice something here that has a lot to do with the paranoia topic that we're on. And it's a damn shame that this has to happen. There was a gentleman earlier in the month that had been using his Facebook Live page to commit murder online of a 70-something-year-old gentleman just walking home from his family's. That's sad. That's pathetic. And some months ago, there was another bunch of kids who used Facebook Live to live stream the beating, the bullying, and the total attack and destruction of a young man who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it was a pack of kids against one kid that had done really nothing to nobody. So what this has done is it's put Facebook under fire, which is bullshit to begin with, because Facebook has millions of people the world over. And so the paranoia has started by these fundamentalist faction groups that think that Facebook should better patrol their videos. Okay, Facebook has enough trouble patrolling their videos against porn and what have you. They have enough trouble patrolling their videos for copyright infringement, like our music that I share from YouTube here on Facebook. I get a complaint every week from Facebook going, "You violated copyright." Post anyway, piss off. So this just goes to show social paranoia is rampant. It's a shame because I agree, Facebook does use algorithms to try to catch these types of videos, but the split second they're reported, Facebook takes them down. What more could you want from Facebook? Give me a break, people. Yeah, I give Facebook hell because they're always changing stuff and they're always moving stuff around. But I can't blame Facebook for some twisted jackleg out here utilizing a really good medium for something bad. There's always going to be bad people. Go after the people. Don't go after Facebook. That's like me going after teachers at school because they don't raise my daughter. It's not the responsibility of the school to teach my child right from wrong. That's the parent's job. That's not the school's job. It's not Facebook's job. There was somebody last year or something that was going off on Facebook because Facebook didn't protect their children against predators. What? Since when is it Facebook's job to protect children against predators? That's our job. We're parents. We should teach our kids right and wrong. We should teach our kids internet protocol. Internet protocol. I tell my daughter, you wouldn't walk up to a stranger on the street and say, "Hi, my name's first name, last name. I live at so-and-so. My phone number is such and such. And oh, while I'm being stupid, my social security number is blah, 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 blah." People do it all day, every day on the internet. They have an assumption of privacy. Doesn't exist. I don't want to stir the paranoia. I don't want to make you people paranoid of the internet. But I have a bit of information for you. There is no 100% true internet safety. Sorry. Once you plug your computer into the internet, the World Wide Web. You now become a part of the biggest network ever devised, and it's growing exponentially every day. You have to be smart. You have to be educated. And I deal with paranoia on a daily basis. I really do. I see people with tape over their webcams. I see people with who will, and in the same respect, I see people who will not lock their computer at work when they get up and walk away from it. I see people that freak out when I remote into their computer to take care of computer issues, and their anxieties just have gone through the roof. Well, how do I know you're not watching me and watching what I'm doing after you fixed my computer? How do I know you're not getting my personal information off of the computer after you're through working on it? And of course, the mischievous showman that I am, I come back and say, if you're on a corporate computer, anything you put on, any place you go, anything you do on that corporate computer is owned by the corporation. It's not owned by you. Nothing to do with paranoia. A fact is a fact. Security in the corporation that I work for periodically goes through and takes screenshots to see what's up on people's computer screen. Some people want to jump up and down and holler, that's an invasion of privacy. No, it's not. When you're at work, hence the key term, work, you don't have any privacy, except for when you go to the potty. Then you got privacy. Well, unless you're talking crap and somebody else hears you on the other side of the stall. Then you're done. And that goes right up in there with feeding the paranoia. People are so paranoid about not having privacy. You only have privacy when you're smart about the things you do. You don't have to live every day of your life afraid. You don't have to live every day of your life scared to talk to your friends or afraid to do this, that, or the other thing. And I'm a big user of the cell phone. I mean, hell, if you could see my network, you'd be, what the hell? I've got security measures built in. I have Sentinel antiviruses running all through my network and my parents' network and the other networks that I maintain. But you can only be so safe before it reaches a point of paranoia. So the whole point to the whole thing is caution is okay. You're speeding towards an intersection, right? Key term, speeding. Next key term, intersection. Your light is green. You assume everyone else is going to stop. You'll right away because their light is red, or you assume it's red. If the computer is working correctly, your light is green, their light is red, and everybody's going to stop, and it's going to be a nice day. Caution says, slow down just a bit. Keep an eye out both directions. And be sure that the other guys are going to stop. If you see somebody speeding towards that intersection, back off a bit, slow down just a little bit, and be sure they're going to stop. That is caution. That's not paranoia. Being prepared is knowing that the things that you have with you prepare you in the event of an accident or an emergency. Like in my vehicle, I carry tools to swap out a tire. I carry a jack and a tire iron. I carry a pair of pliers and a couple of different screwdrivers. In case I blow a fuse, I have a pair of pliers to pull the fuse and put the fuse back in. So I am prepared. I am cautious when I'm coming up on a light, especially stop signs. Stop signs are the world's worst. I am prepared because I'm cautious. I'm cautious because I know how people are. I know that people don't like to stop at stop signs. Hell, people don't like to stop at red lights. Give me a break. Everybody's in a hurry. Paranoia is deadly, it's dangerous, and it's also very unhealthy. Living a life of paranoia can and does cause physical health issues. And it's not hard to prove because paranoia builds stress. Stress builds, along with paranoia, anxieties. So let's take a look at the building blocks here. You got paranoia. Paranoia builds stress, right? Paranoia also builds anxieties. So paranoia compounds fear. Fear on top of anxieties and stress. Fear also builds anxieties and stress. So I got another double on top of that. Well, before I know it, I am affecting my health, I'm affecting my mental health, and I'm also affecting the mental and physiological health of those around me that have to deal with me on a daily basis. Paranoia is very dangerous. It's dangerous to you and it's dangerous to people around you. I can sit here all day long and bring up facts, scenarios, and other forms of information about paranoia that essentially is repeating the same thing. So let's take a minute or two to talk about how to curb paranoia. Let's take a minute or two to think about how to get around the paranoid fear that human beings are programmed to live in on a daily basis. And I'm going to do that and we're going to close after this next break. Take a minute, enjoy some music. After this, We're going to talk about how to curb that paranoia, what to do to help people around the paranoia. How can we help others to get over their own paranoia? Right? We'll be back shortly. Enjoy the music.
Now the pale morning sings of forgotten things. She plays the tune for those who wish to overlook the fact that they've been blindly deceived by those who preach and pray and teach. But she falls short and the night explodes in laughter. But don't you come here and say I didn't warn you about the way your world can alter. And oh, how you try to command it all still. Every single time it all shifts one way or the other. And I'm a goddamn coward, but then again so are you. And the lions roar as me evading and hollering for you. And I never really knew what to do. Now I guess sometimes I wish you were a little more predictable, that I could read you just like a book. For now I can only guess what's coming next by examining your timid smile and the ways of the old wind blowing you back around. And I'm a goddamn fool, but then again so are you. And the lions roar as me seeking out and searching for you. And I never really knew what to do. Sometimes I wish I could find my Rosemary Hill. I sit there and look at the deserted lakes and I'd sing. And every once in a while I'd sing a song for you that would rise above the mountains and the stars and the sea. And if I wanted it to, it would lead you back to me. And the lions roar is something that I have heard before. A children's tale, the lonesome wail of a lion's roar.
Get all of my get all of my switches twisted and button flipped and knobs and bed knobs and broomsticks. There we go. Get all of our bed knobs and broomsticks in line. All right. Well, we're about 25, 26 minutes past the hour. Been chatting with some folk on the back end. Really good points. How do we curve paranoia? Well, we first, pardon me, curving paranoia begins with not becoming a part of the paranoid rhetoric to begin with. When you hear people talking crap, trying to stir the pot, stir the cauldron, as it were, say something. You don't have to be a turd when you say something, when you know someone is doing something wrong or talking out their backside because their front side knows better. If more people stood up, less people would talk out of turn. So, the old saying, when you see something, say something. When you hear something, say something. It doesn't mean to become a tattletale, right? That doesn't mean that every time you hear somebody talking crap in your group, in your conversation, congregation, whatever you call it, say something to that person and go, look, this isn't working. What you're trying to do is stir crap in amongst all of these people. And that's not needed here. And if they continue, then go to the leader of the group, whatever, what have you, and say, look, you know, I tried to say something to this person. They're sitting over there, dabba, 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 dabba. And leave it at that. The leader of the group should be able to take control of the situation and say, okay, look, we're not going to do this. Like the individual that was supposedly causing all of the nosebleeds and allergy attacks and what have you. The situations with individuals that used to come to the HOP, they come in brand new, don't have a clue what Pagan circle's about. And one of the more theatrical members of the group would always try to draw attention to themselves, going, well, that individual really makes me feel uncomfortable. I wonder what they're carrying with them. That is planting the seed of doubt in the rest of the group's mind about someone new. Newcomers in schools, wow. When I was a kid growing up, we moved around every 2 years, every 2 to 3 years. I was always the new kid in school. And of course, I would come in, the new kid in school, and somebody would start talking crap. Well, Maxwell's this and Maxwell's that. And I saw Maxwell doing this and blah, de blah, de blah. And at 16, I finally got enough of it and started fighting back. Well, unfortunately, from the age of 16 until I graduated school in 1981, damn, that was a long time ago, for the first little while, I was in fights almost every day. Eventually, the bullies decided I was nothing to play with and that I was going to fight back. So the rumors, the paranoia, and the innuendo kind of slacked off a little bit. Of course, little did they know, some of the rumors were true. I was involved in magic. I did believe in magic. I did and do believe that the LGBT community. Of course, that term wasn't even alive back then, but the term was gays and straights. I did and do believe that gays and straights have the same rights by the natural order of things as heterosexuals do. I did and do believe that women are the essential backbone of society. The female race, or the female animal of the human species, people need to realize they are the backbone of the human species. There were a number of things that were going on. There's still a number of things going on today, but, the paranoia is about the same today in 2017 as it was when I graduated high school in 1981. The problem is, it's more in your face today. We have this global communication thing called the World Wide Web, the Internet. And it is a global point of communication that the paranoia, the mob mentality, and what have you, are in the people's faces. So, what can we do to curb paranoia? Well, a really good friend of mine was just talking about diet. Watch what you eat. And some people would say, well, how the hell could your diet have anything to do with paranoia? Well, let's think about it this way. In today's age, we have excessive amounts of gluten, steroids, antibiotics. We have excessive amounts of lead in our water. We have excessive amounts of chlorine in our water. All of these chemicals not only screw with our health, but they also screw with our mental processing capabilities. Too much alcohol, too much, well, I'm a firm believer in the freedom of being able to smoke pot on a recreational basis. I don't smoke it. I quit smoking pot in '82. I was one of the rare cases that was addicted to pot and alcohol. So I walked away from it. I really wish that pot wasn't so addictable to me, because I know that the properties in marijuana really do help with aches and pains of individuals, and it also helps with certain paranoia. Go figure. When used in moderation. Got to make sure I put that in there. I also have no problem with people that drink, if done in moderation. I mean, come on, human beings since the beginning of time have pulled on vendors. Benders, as we used to call them. Where you've had a hell of a week, you get a couple of friends together, you get together, you're safe, somebody else has got the keys to the vehicles, and you pull on a weekend and get commode hugging drunk, or shit-faced stoned, or whatever you want to call it. Some of the other curves for paranoia other than just diet, and diet's a big one. I totally agree with that. Education. You know, education is probably up there with diet in that it's one of the biggest curbs or squashers of paranoia. If you understand the base philosophy of all religions, now listen to me, you're not going to understand every idiosyncrasy of every religion that's out there. If you do, good on you, more power to you. But as those of you that are just coming into the pagan fold and you're just wanting to learn what the pagan philosophy is about, study the basics. Don't worry about whether or not you're shaman or witch or druid or fae or asatru or whatever, any of the thousands of denominations of pagan philosophy. Study the basics. What is a pagan? Also, be educated in the effects of magic and how it works. What is magic but the manipulation of energy? Is magic real? Sure. Can magic kill you? Not directly. Not directly. And that's a topic for another wide debate. Because I promise you, if magic could kill you directly, I would have been dead a long time ago. But education and understanding curbs the paranoia of the old saying in the pagan circle, why is everybody always casting on me? Well, in reality, they're probably not. And if they are, it's a waste of their time. Because people casting on you to cause harm only really is worth a damn if you allow it to happen. Magic can and does manipulate things around you and people around you that are easily manipulatable. Magic can manipulate and change the outcome of things that should not have had that outcome. But you as an individual, if you allow yourself to become paranoid over these different actions and reactions, instead of staying constant, staying true to yourself and true to what you believe, that paranoia begins to build inside you and wind you up to the point where you start making mistakes. You start making mistakes not only with yourself, your own health and your own safety and well-being, but the safety and well-being of those in your family around you. So the only true way you're going to curb paranoia, pay attention to what you eat, your diet. Pay attention to the things that you're feeding your brain in the things that you feed your body. The types of medications you're on, do they affect your psyche? So many of the chemical medications that modern day and mainstream medicines put us on today keep our psyche so imbalanced. A lot of people don't really know the difference between fantasy and reality. They get them mixed up. Listen to what people are saying. Don't always take it to heart. Listen to what they're saying. Think about what they're saying. And listen to what they're not saying. See if the words they're using are congruent to their own actions. Or see if the words they're using are simply to draw attention to themselves so they can be a hero. Or they can think themselves a hero by saving the circle from someone who's evil. That's a part of education. That's part of learning and understanding things that might seriously be out of your control. Every one of us at some point gets screwed up, mixed up, and hurled in with paranoia. It sucks, but we're human, and it happens. So there you go, folks. Paranoia. It's deadly dangerous. It is societally destructive. And when you have a really good friend, and this is for those young people out there who may be watching or listening this morning, when you have a really good friend that is listening to the rhetoric and lies and crap of someone else who calls themselves friend, and those lies and rhetoric and crap are simply used to try to stir up your friendship with this individual that you've been friends with for a long time. So much of the time, the outside individual is simply jealous, and they're wanting to stir up paranoia and strife and chaos within that friendship. If your friend is willing to let that happen, that's their bad, not yours. So don't take responsibility for outsiders' actions. Don't allow yourself to become paranoid and get mixed up with everything else that's out there. Paranoia is deadly dangerous. So I think that's about all we've got for you on this Sunday. And as always, I'd like for you guys to get ready to join me, because right after this presentation, if you're watching live, we're going to be bouncing over to UnitedPaganRadio.net. We've got a good topic over there this morning. They've got a wonderful internet radio station. You can get Pagan Radio apps on your cell phone, on your mobile device. You sure can. Or you can bop on over to UnitedPaganRadio.net, go to the bottom of the page, log into the chat area, and enjoy your show. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And I hope you enjoyed the music this morning. I'm working on making sure I got the right buttons clicked and the right knobs twisted. Have a great day, and don't be paranoid.